Khan, Shalom. All praises to Yahawah, Simeon, Shai, Bar, Shem, Kakadash. To the honest study apostles and elders of Greatmillstone, and salutations to the hopeful electors pushing his truth and sincerity. A game changer. High-powered laser steers lightning bolts for the first time. We got scientists on the top of Switch Mountain shot lasers pulses into the stormy sky to guide lightning for the first time. This might pave the way for laser-based lightning protection systems for rocket launch pads, military bases, airports, and super tall buildings. There hasn't been an advance like this in a lightning technology since Benjamin Franklin installed the first lightning rod in the 1750s, following an experiment flying a kite with a large metal key during a thunderstorm. A team led by Aurélien Howard, the physicist at École Polytechnique in France, experimented in the Santé, a mountain in the northeastern Switzerland, in the summer of 2021 with a high repetition rate, a terawatt laser. The results were published Monday in the journal Natural Photonics. They showed how a terawatt laser pulse could steer lightning towards a 26-foot rod. So how does this work? This work paves the way for a new atmospheric application of ultra-short lasers and represents an important step forward in the development of laser-based lightning protection for air. We already went to that. So the University of Glasgow physicist who wasn't involved in the research told the WSJ, the successful experiment is something we've been dreaming of for decades. And the fact that they managed to do it in an outdoor environment is a very big step. So by the way of this laser weaponry, they can steer lightning, which is quite dangerous and quite crazy, because you can weaponize it. It says, Clearacy called the experiment a game changer, but know that the technology is in early development and that the commercialization could be years away. The WSJ showed how the technology works. A laser beam is blasted into the stormy sky and direct lightning towards the intended target, which happens to be a tall tower. So you can steer the lightning. You can weaponize this, man. Let me see. This is crazy. So near tower atop of the Swiss Peak, scientists showed it was possible to guide lightning with a laser over a distance of near 200 feet. So a laser beam is focused through a telescope and short, intense laser pulses are sent toward clouds above the tower tip. The pulse ionize the air beyond the tower tip, creating an electrically a conduct channel that can guide lightning to a rod below. Damn. A rod atop to tall towers help to provide a safe path for lightning to follow to the ground. So 2.70 billion. The cost is very high versus a traditional lightning rod, but over the time the technology will improve and become cheaper. Yeah. When you look at this, it makes you think about how Esau is blessed with the sword and how Esau truly is using the sword, and you know how they will speak. They most likely will say like, this is these are their ways to improve or to better the estate of people. They might even speak about ways of trying to capture it so that they can charge certain things. But Esau has the mind of waging war. With the mind of waging war, when I see this, the first thing that comes into my mind is he's going to use this as a weapon, you know, on the battlefield. He's going to use it as a weapon against people that dare to rise up to protest, you know. So, the book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above, and by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt take dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So this speaks about Esau Edom, aka the wicked that is ruling the earth today. They are blessed with the sword, and the sword is the representation of the weapon, and the weapon is linked onto the technology that they have, where they can manipulate people, but also control and terrorize people, man. Wage war against the people. The book of Luke, chapter 16, verse 8. And the Lord commanded the unjust steward, because he had done wisely, for the children of this world are in their generation wiser than the children of light. So why does it say that the children of this world are wiser in their generation than the children of light? Because they're very devious and very crafty. They're skilled in manipulating people, but they're also skilled in waging war and causing destruction. And that is what you see on these Edomites, man. They're very skilled in coming up with new ways of coming up with new ways of devious tactical ways of causing destruction. That is the mind of the nation of Edom. And then the same thing, if you just study what they do, you observe these things, it really displays the mind of thinking they're gods. This is truly continually invading or trying to control nature, trying to steer the natural things. Like who gets it in his mind to manipulate or to control lightning, even to the point where they want to use the lightning as a weapon against people, because that is what's going to take place. Don't just believe or think when this man is going to say, no, we're never going to do something like that. We already know how these creatures think. So if they have the power to direct lightning, they can direct it towards the enemy. They're going to direct it towards anybody that is rising up against them. And people don't understand, because they see lightning, and lightning is being linked onto a natural event. Many people don't even understand that they have the ability, the skill, the power to control and to steer lightning. This goes into how you call it, weather modification, harp, weather defense, weaponization. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. And when we read these articles, it is an article, who can tell you that if they're not even way further? Because that is how the mind of Esau operates. They're not going to tell you exactly everything which they can do. If they will tell you something, they will tell you piece of what they're capable of doing, so that they will put you in awe. But what they really can do goes surpass way further of what they by part will show you, because the devil is not going to tell you everything of what they can do upon the globe. They're wise, they're so wise, they're very skilled, there's a scripture in the book of Sirach, chapter 19. And when it says wise, wisdom, being wise does not mean that you're righteous. You can be wise in very, very, very wicked ways, and that's what these Edomites are. They're very wise in wickedness. Let me see where it is. The book of Sirach, chapter 19, verse 22. The knowledge, you see, they have the knowledge, the knowing. When you go into the meaning know, to know is actually is distinct from knowledge. So they have the knowledge, the knowing of wickedness, the knowing, the knowledge of doing evil. That is what is given unto them. The knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom, neither at any time the counsel of sinners prudence. You see? So, because the only thing that they cause is destruction, man. Boom. Boom. Daniel chapter 12 verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And knowledge is increasing. You know, on the right hand side, more understanding is gained by the righteous, but also on the left hand side, as they keep working and striving towards their goal, they figure things out. You know, they figure new things out by the way of the left hand side. You know, they get certain knowledge, certain guidance, certain advice, certain counsel, and in that pride they keep going on and they keep going on. The book of Obadiah chapter 1 verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? You see, the things that they do in secret, more and more is coming out, but not everything is immediately being shown unto the people what they can do. You know? But slowly but sure, more and more things will come out, and there's even a division within the power structure of Edom. You know, you're going to have Edomites even rising up and speaking out against Edomites. Certain decisions that a certain place like America makes, which have an impact on the people here in Europe. So there will be a division within the power structure of Esau. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Yeah, man. There's no understanding in them. The nation of Edom, the rulers upon this globe, they will do and make decisions which will have an impact on their alliance. And their alliance is going to rise up against them, man. You know. Shall I not in that day, say the Lord, even destroy the wise man of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? Yeah, because the wise man, if you're looking at Germany, for example, you had mind control, a scientist, you know, you had all type scientists working over there, crafty, developing things in order to control propaganda, minds to steer and to manipulate people, but also weaponry. All of it continued, you know, all of it continued and moved further, evolved in America, you know. So that is the thing that you see. Why do you think you got DARPA? DARPA is continually occupied in developing and doing all type of secret projects. Let me see if I still have this here. It says operational defense through weather control in 2030. You know, I will put this also in the comment section so you can read it. But it goes in onto DEW, you know, direct energy weapons, you know. Let me see what we got no more. Here, optical target engagement, weather control past and present, foundations of weather control. So this devious mind is using everything within their power to control and to use against the people, to control the people, because that's where it's all about. It's all about controlling the whole human population, and they will use any form of weaponry against the people, man. Boom, boom. The book of Joel. The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So We're living in a time, and if you're looking at America, man, America has the biggest, or should I say, the most extreme debt. But yet you got these type of projects wherein billions are being pumped in the preparation. It's all contributing on to the waging of war. And that is what the scripture says as well. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Everybody is preparing. The second woe is past, and the third world war cometh quickly. So wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. So that is what everybody is doing. Russia is doing it, China is doing it, America is doing it. In the Middle East, there's war being waged for quite some time, and everybody is preparing himself for the waging of the Armageddon, the final war that will be waged upon this earth. The scripture says, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I'm strong. So every agriculture instrument needs to be changed, and it needs to be invested in the preparing for the waging of war. Don't invest in the creating of jobs. Don't invest in trying to make sure that people can buy, the purchasing or the buying power increases. Don't invest in those things, but the government will invest in the preparation for the waging of war. And that is what you can see. This is just another prime example of how they simply don't care about the people, the estate the people are in, but merely fixated on expanding their power, expanding their control. That's the main thing, you know. So boom, Isaiah chapter 9 verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Yep. The war that used to be waged upon this earth back in the days was, horses, people screaming, swords clashing upon harnesses. But the war that will be waged in this present time is so sophisticated and so highly advanced technology, weaponry is being used against each other that many people don't even understand. The same thing as I'm making this video right now. Many people don't understand. Like when you're going to have people, for example, protesting, when you're going to have people doing some things, seditions, uproars, they already use these weaponry, man. Steering type energy weapons. But just trying to imagine, like, people protesting, and then all of a sudden lightning smites and so lightning kill. If you get smitten by lightning, I don't know how strong, how powerful, it can kill people. And it can immediately end any form of uproar, any form of, even any form of peaceful protest, man. Because they hate any form of uproar, uprising against the establishment. That's what they hate. They want people to be obedient, quiet, cooperating, civilians, man. That is what they want. Go to your work, earn your money, go back home, and think that everything is fine. That is what they want. But they don't want people to research. They don't want people to ask questions. They don't want people to mention and to expose what they do. They don't want that. So what is it that you can expect, man? I tell you what I expect. I expect that they will use this, and it's already been used. They already has laser weaponry, but they're going to use this as a weapon on the battlefield against their own citizens, man. So let me end up with that, man. All praises to Yahawah, Simeon, Shalom.